So there you go. We're recording, Dad. And this is all going to get edited down
Holy
later.
mackerel. How about that?
So, this is going to be our first real sit down interview. And I'm just going to open this up. Hi, my name is Nevada Gale, and I am a licensed life and health insurance agent in the state of Michigan. And you are
Her dad.
my dad. You heard it here, folks. He's my
I'm
dad.
dad. How about that? I'm Ralph Gale. I've been life and health agent for over 30 years, and I've been an investment advisor's rep now for, well, since 2017. So 8 years.
Okay. And what does that mean? That not only are you a licensed life and health insurance agent, you're also an investment advisor representative.
Yeah, I deal with the wealth management side of the business. There's the insurance side, which is protection, right?
Yep.
And then I deal with the investment side, which is how do I make money?
Okay. And when you're sitting down and helping these clients, what is your main priority for the families that you help?
First is income.
Okay.
Um,
Income
in retirement,
okay.
it has to be a steady paycheck every day, and every month it has to come in, regularly. It's not something we can guess at. It's bills don't just disappear.
Very
Life
true.
life doesn't just stop.
Or we hope, we hope it doesn't just
Well,
stop,
if it
but
just stops, then we don't have to worry about the income, do
also
we?
very true. And so as I joined this industry now almost a year ago, come
Mhm.
February around my
Wow.
birthday, can you believe it's been almost a year?
I can't believe it's your birthday.
I'm 25 soon. Isn't that nuts?
Only if you say so.
Hey man, you're the one that always said I was going to end up, joining you here in the office and,
Yeah,
learning what it takes to be in this industry.
I've
So,
said that from the very beginning.
so I was about yay high, a little squirt.
Mhm.
So now that I'm here, our goals for the business are changing a little bit, but I'm still maintaining our mission, our purpose,
Mhm.
which is to help families, make it in retirement, be
Right.
comfortable and maintain their independence as they age.
Mhm.
Uh, and I know we've got other things that we consider and we focus on as we go through
Mhm.
our planning with these couples and these families. But I just wanted to ask, why did you join this industry?
You want truth or a lie?
Well, let's start with two truths and then a lie.
Well, the truth, I got in this industry for the same reason everybody else got in this industry. I was told it's easy and you can make a fortune.
Is it easy?
Yeah, not.
Not at all.
I haven't had an easy day. I don't know when the last easy. No,
No.
is your answer? No,
Okay, so the truth.
not if you take it serious. I mean, if you want to play like some people I know do it, they play at it, and they think they do what's right, and then they go have a 2 week vacation and forget about their clients.
Hmm.
So I guess you can if you want to be transitional or transactional, which is I want to sell you a product. Um, if that's all you want to do, you see the ads on TV all the time. $9.99. I'll get you some kind of life insurance. Call this person, talk to licensed insurance agent who says, "Yep, we can do that for you, sir." And the transaction is done, and they'll never talk to you again.
Right.
I build relationships, and those relationships last their lifetime.
And even into their children's lifetimes, then
I
it's a
certainly hope so.
multi-generational.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Just like you're
Somebody
handing
called
it
me a
to me.
generational architect.
You just got a call yesterday morning,
Yeah.
actually, about that. A client that you hadn't heard from in a number of years.
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty much pre-COVID, right?
Yeah, well, I had COVID. I'd done some planning with him years and years ago, him and his wife, and we did our annual reviews, and then COVID hit, and nothing. I mean, it went silent. Of course, I knew she had passed away a few years before that, but so we adjusted the plans just to cover him.
Right.
But I hadn't heard from him in over 5 years. And I hear from his daughter.
Oh,
I think she's calling to tell me he's dead.
right.
Because that's I mean, I had a long-term care plan that I put in place for him and hadn't heard anything about it. Nobody called me about it. Wow. So I figured they were calling me about the annuity as a death benefit.
Right.
That wasn't what happened.
What had happened?
Well, apparently he had had a stroke during COVID and
Oh.
he'd been living in assisted living since then.
Oh, for the past 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Wow.
And I went, really? Yeah. And the long-term care plan that we put together for has paid for it up till now.
Oh, that's a good thing to hear,
Yeah,
though.
I
That's a
went-
wonderful thing to
Yeah.
hear.
Well, yeah, I mean, as an agent, we very seldom hear those tales. You know, we hear the other side of that because we see it and we live it, but we don't see that side of it because it does what it's supposed to do, and everybody's okay with it. I mean, it just works, and family's good, and dad's okay, and bills are being paid, and yeah, there you go. Nothing else is ever said, and then next thing we know, we hear that he's passed on.
Right.
That was the case here. He's still alive. 5 years, had a stroke.
Right. So what was she looking into?
Well,
What was
we-
she asking about?
Again, we had annuity with him, and we'd set that up for additional. If the plan wasn't paying for everything, he had someplace else to go to get the extra money,
Right.
and he hadn't touched it,
Oh.
which is why I thought he was dead, honestly. You know, I had it since 2009,
Oh,
you know, and so here you are 15, 16 years, 17 years.
quite
later,
a
almost.
few years
Long
later.
time, and it never been touched. And
Mm.
it was set up for the extra. And he had told his daughter about this as the money was running out in the plan, the base plan, and that
She
she
said,
wanted to
call
know-
Ralph and see what he can do
He
to help
had-
us.
she had no idea why she was calling me,
Oh,
other than he had an annuity and she needed to know what to do to get money out of it. I said, oh, okay, well then, you know, I get in the conversation. How's he doing? You know, where's he been? Where's he at?
yep.
You know, what can I do? Can I go see him? Because I
How can
haven't
I
seen him in
help?
forever.
Yeah.
You know, and she must have thought I was weird. At least crazy.
Well, but if you really think about it, if that's what most people are used to when it comes to insurance agents and financial advisors,
Mhm.
if they're not used to you checking in and having that real relationship
Mhm.
that you've built with these clients,
Mhm.
I can imagine that it would be kind of a shock to a daughter or a son to go,
Wait a minute, he wants to help?
he wants to help, he wants to just come see him for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's unusual, and that I feel like it definitely sets us apart, you apart, and I
Well-
hope me too in the future as I step more into this industry. Is
Mhm.
I was raised by you,
Mhm.
obviously, because you're my dad, and I was raised to care about people and have
Mhm.
that empathy and the relationship building. You don't just come to help somebody for nothing.
Mhm.
I'm here to help you because you're another person. You're another human being.
Mhm.
So why would I not want to fulfill those shoes and step into that role of I'm here to help?
It sounded like a lot of work. Dad put in a lot of hours. Still do.
Well, yeah, but and the big thing, and this is a little bit of backstory on me. I spent nearly a decade in a different service industry, in the restaurant industry.
Mhm. Right.
And that's crazy. It probably hearing your 25-year-old daughter say, I spent a decade
Yeah. Yeah.
in an industry.
Mhm.
I did from 14 to 24. I was
Food service.
food service. I
Mhm.
was front of house, back of house. I served tables. I worked weddings. And all of that came down to I wanted to make people smile.
Mhm.
I want them to feel like if in that industry, their event, their
Mhm.
wedding is going to go perfect.
Mhm.
The tables are set beautifully.
Mhm.
The silverware is lined up the way it's supposed to be. And they don't have to worry. Well, now I've entered this industry and the goal is the same.
Mhm.
But the event is now life.
Yeah.
The event it's not just a one-day thing.
Mhm.
It's not just well, we've got this thing going on and it's so exciting. Sometimes life isn't exciting. Sometimes it's scary,
Mhm.
but we're still here to help people walk through
Mhm.
those scary moments, the
Yeah.
exciting moments, even the quiet transitions, that you don't wake up one day and go,
Mhm.
well, I think today is my last day doing something.
Yeah, right.
I think
Yep.
today is the last day that I'm going to walk the dog 3 miles.
Mhm.
It happens a little bit more gradually than that.
Mhm.
And we're here for those quiet transitions.
It can happen suddenly, like it did with him.
Yeah,
He had
that's
a
true
stroke,
too.
and all of a sudden, he wasn't capable of living on his own anymore.
Very
So-
true.
So mentally he's sharp, slurring his speech a little bit from what I understand, but that's a stroke.
Yeah.
Right. But physically he's not ever recovered from it, which most people don't from a stroke.
Mm.
I don't understand why, but they don't. But so here he is, and how long's he got? I don't know. Most people, when I started in this industry, didn't last 7 to 10 years in care. It was a year and a half or two. But now, well, care isn't just in a nursing home. It's not in an assisted living.
Oh,
Like you were saying, care starts at home. I
Mm.
can't get my dog out right now, or I can't make the bed anymore, or I need a little help bathing, or
laundry hurts to fold my hand,
whatever. It starts slow, and it starts with the fact that you're just trying to stay independent. And most advisors out there, this is what you're finding, are more concerned with profit and growth on their assets than they are preservation of the family.
Hmm.
And money doesn't preserve a family. It doesn't. Money will tear a family apart.
Mm. We've seen that happen. You've seen that happen
Oh, yeah.
many times.
Many times in providing care when the emergency happens and nobody knows what is supposed to happen.
Right.
What's next? What do I need? Who's going to do what? How are we paying for this?
Mhm.
When those aren't talked about, prepared for, then the family starts to unravel.
Mm. And so, I kind of want to circle us back around to why we initially had set up our recording equipment today. As I'm entering in and stepping foot into the business with you and helping you with the things that you need help with, one of those things has been helping you compile a collection of short stories.
Yeah.
Just bits and pieces and, stories about families.
True life.
And
that stick.
Yeah. And one thing that really stuck with me was a really small thing, but really hit me hard. Someone had described how at a certain point, simple things aren't simple anymore, like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And growing up with you, I heard these stories that we're now compiling. And one of them was about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Growing up, you'd always say there was a right way to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it wasn't really about the sandwich, was it?
Not so much, no. But it was about doing things properly. But it's also, there's so many different messages in one story sometimes. That was about a special needs child that was taught you have to do this to every peanut butter sandwich. You have to put peanut butter on both sides of the bread and then jelly between it so the jelly don't squish through. But if you didn't do that procedure right, it would upset her. But it was also about mom thought she'd done everything right for her special needs daughter. But the truth was she hadn't.
Oh.
She'd put one person in charge of all the money and all the medical and all the personal decisions on this girl's part, this lady's part. And what she didn't realize is that daughter that she put in charge of this was greedy.
Oh.
And took all the money that was supposed to go to care for the special needs child and made wonderful vacations of it, while she left her daughter to do nothing but
her sister. Yeah.
Yeah. The woman's daughter, the sister, to sit there and try to figure out how to feed herself, and left her alone in a condominium. And, and that wasn't what was supposed to happen. But without the supervision, she didn't know what to do. And it happens that way with care too. You're talking about how sometimes the simple isn't simple anymore.
Right. So it's that they don't plan for it. It's not been prepared for.
Right.
You don't even notice that you're not capable of doing something until it's a little bit too late.
Yeah. 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 I that's a great way to phrase it. Or it's a sudden change, or it's a gradual decline. But most of the time we don't see the gradual decline. We see when you hit the bottom.
Right.
And that's where families see it. And then they don't know what to do. So they scramble and they step in, and then they're arguing amongst themselves. Who knows better for dad or mom? Then I know better for dad, mom. And then you've got family strife going. So.
Right.
Go ahead. You've got the questions on this. I know the story. And it's very, very emotional at times.
It is. And in a lot of these stories that we've been working through, it hurts to talk about
Mm-hmm.
because especially this one, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you had sat down with her mom
Mm-hmm.
before she passed,
Mm-hmm. Long before.
and
Yeah.
you set up the trust and you had all of the things in
Mhm.
place, and the guardianships
Mhm.
were,
Yep, she had done a lot of that, right?
so she thought she'd done everything
Mhm.
right, but you know, what did they miss?
Accountability, oversight.
Mm,
She put one person in charge of everything because the other child was out in West Virginia or someplace,
another
miles and
state,
miles.
yeah.
Yeah, and couldn't be here all the time. So this one lived down the street, and the idea was, when the time came and mom passed away, she'd move into the condo with the other daughter, and they'd live their lives out there. And when the younger or the older daughter, she was the oldest,
Mm.
passed away, then everything went to the younger daughter. And the younger daughter just couldn't be patient, couldn't do what mom had asked her to do. She,
The lack of accountability meant that she got to run free, but
yeah.
her younger sister
Mhm.
was trapped,
Mm-hmm.
left
Yep.
behind,
Yep.
and
There
that's
was no
really,
provision in there for her to leave all her investments with me.
mm,
So her sister, or the daughter in this case, decided that she should have it all taken out of her mom's name and out of the trust name and put in her name, and have her wealth manager take a look at it and take care of it for her and in her name.
mm.
So there was nobody to put a check and balance on that. And she knew how to spend money.
So when did this culminate? When did this hit a head that you recognized, you realized what was going on with, we'll
Well,
call her Linda. Linda is the name we're gonna use for our special needs
yeah,
client.
Linda called me and said, Mom told me if I ever need anything, call you.
Oh, call you.
Call me. Call Ralph. If you ever need anything, call Ralph. And so she did, and she was kind of fond of me anyway. So mom always thought she had a crush on me. But
Oh,
I said, well, okay, Linda, how can I help you? And she said, well, I need you to get some of mom's money, and I need some wonderful bread. And I need the smooth peanut butter, not the crunchy stuff.
not the crunchy stuff.
And I need lumpy jelly, lumpy strawberry jelly.
Lumpy.
Yeah, meaning preserves.
Okay.
I said, okay. And some milk with a yellow cap.
Very specific in her
Very,
request.
very specific on her needs. And I said, okay, can I get that to you tomorrow? Because I was trying to figure out where her sister was. And she
Yeah.
goes, Ralph, Mr. Ralph, she called me Mr. Ralph. Mr. Ralph, could you do it today? Because I haven't eaten all day. This was in the afternoon.
Oh,
I went, what are you talking about? Where's your sister? I don't know. She won't answer her phone. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll be right over. And I went and got bread, milk, and peanut butter and jelly, and took it over to the house, and walked in the house, and the stench just about knocked me out. It was just unbelievable. Got in the refrigerator, and I found that she had a little milk, but it was moldy and it was lumpy.
mm.
And she had a half a glass in there that was just sitting in there. That was, I don't know, it's awful. And that was all that was in the house. And of course, I still had all of mom's information. So I had the son's phone number.
Right. Her brother.
Her younger brother. And I called Child Protective Services.
Mm-hmm.
And I got somebody out there immediately. Because I said, Linda, what is that stench? Where's the smell coming from? Well, Mr. Ruff, it's in the garage. What's in the garage, Linda? The garbage. Mom told me when the garbage was full, I was to tie it up and put it in the garage.
So she was following
She
instructions.
followed instructions to the T.
T.
I said, oh, Mom had been gone for 3 or 4 months at this point. When is the garbage man came last? Oh, he comes every week, but he doesn't take that because I don't know. Well, it's just nothing she knew of.
Mm.
So 3 or 4 months of garbage was in the garage
Where
in the
had her
middle of
sister been?
summer.
Oh, yeah. Where were you? Where was your
Oh, she was
sister?
in the Bahamas at the time. Yeah.
Oh,
So I called Child Protective Services. They got out there immediately. Um, the son or the brother,
yep.
I had him on the phone and Child Protective Service at the same time, and he was on a plane within an hour to be up there. And things got okay.
They were taken
But
care of.
but the daughter who was doing all this called me everything but a white man for interfering in her business.
Right, because how dare you, uh, a stranger, right? And I put big air quotes on strangers there for the viewers. How dare you, a stranger, dad, care so much more about her own sister than she did?
Yeah, it's yeah.
So,
I don't get her, and I basically told her, please don't ever call me again. Now I know that Linda ended up moving in with her brother, and they sold the condo, and through guardianship changes and what
court
have you,
battles and
he
all that.
he managed to get what's left of mom's money, and in a very few months, she basically went through half of it. I mean, she was living high, living large, living la vida, right? La vida loco. She was crazy about life, and she was living it out on mom's dime
Mm.
at the cost of her sister. When that was just, I don't know.
Mm.
That was jealousy that mom had taken care of her all these years and had her in mind first before the son and the daughter, the other ones.
The ones who could take care of themselves, who could
Yeah,
support themselves.
right. I don't know. I don't get it. I
It
don't
doesn't make
understand.
sense.
I
Yeah.
don't understand people like that. I never will. And so that's where that story came to a head. Now I
So,
know she's moved in with her brother and they're
yeah.
fine. She was fine, all that good stuff. But
And this story is from a long time ago.
Oh,
So when
yeah.
we go on these interviews and
Mhm.
we're talking about our clients, these
are
many of them
long
are
time,
past.
long time. Yep.
Yeah, so
And those that we do talk about are current, I'll have permission to talk about them.
correct.
And we won't use them by name anyway.
No,
So
never. No, no. So that came to a head, and that's a horrible way to discover a special needs client.
who everybody thought was okay. Condominium was paid for. There was plenty of cash to pay for her medical bills. Everything was okay.
Mm.
But there was a bump in the trust. And by the way, we didn't set up the trust. It was already done. Had we set up the trust, there'd have been
the provisions.
With our attorneys, there would have been another provision in there for accountability on something, whether it was medical or financial or an oversight or something. That one person can't have control of everything.
So I suppose that the moral of this story is to make sure that something as simple as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich
Yeah.
doesn't become a crisis.
Yeah.
We have to plan ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. That's our message. I mean, if you don't plan for life will plan for yourself. It'll take charge. It'll do whatever it needs to do.
Right. If you don't,
and you're left trying to pick up the pieces.
We have to ask the question, the hard question of what would life look like if it doesn't go to plan, if it doesn't stay easy, what happens?
Yeah, my message has always been the same. If something happened to you today, what does your family know? Do they know what you want? Do they know where the documents are? Do they know where the financials are? Do they know what decisions you don't want to make for them? Do they know these things? Or do you just think?
Right. And is it written down in a legally binding format?
Right.
Or is it just a verbal?
Yeah. I like the commercial. They're driving down the road now, and she goes, well, this is the first time we've ever left the children alone. And the husband goes, yeah, and if anything happens to both of us, your mom and dad, and a guy pops up in the back seat, says, doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Has to be in writing, doesn't count. And I'm like, it's a perfect message.
Mhm.
I mean, it's goofy the way they bring it across, but it doesn't count. I know, from a personal standpoint, I don't want you doing any of the personal hygiene stuff for yourself, for myself or your mom. But
I
if
think
it's
I'll
not
pass
in
on that as
writing,
well.
if that's not in writing and it's needed, guess what? Somebody's going to step up and do it, whether they want to or not.
And lovingly, I'll say it won't be my little sister.
Probably.
Um,
But that's the point. I mean, if you don't make the plans are going to make themselves.
so planning isn't expecting the worst. It's not about just expecting the worst.
No.
It's about protecting dignity.
Yeah.
It's making sure your kids don't have to figure it
Mhm.
out for you in the middle of everything else that's
Mhm.
going wrong in that
Mhm.
moment.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. Yeah.
You know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the conversation that most families never have.
They
They
never
won't
have it.
touch it
Yeah.
because it's uncomfortable. It's scary.
And they don't know how to guide it. They don't know where to take it. I can have the conversation with you, but without a professional that knows how to get these things down in writing and planned for and paid for,
Mm,
what conversation are we really having?
very true.
I don't want you to take care of us. Okay, who's going to?
I don't know.
I don't know, but we'll figure that out when the time comes. It don't work that way.
You're right. We'll plan for
Yeah.
that if it happens.
Right. But it's always a win. Life, well, our workshop is called Challenge the Conventional because life is about phases, right?
Yes.
We're born, we get married, we go to school, we have children, they grow up, they leave,
They have kids.
and then we go to retirement.
Mm.
And it's like an event. It just happened. We're just there, and it's going to be a flat line from there out.
Mm.
No,
It's not.
retirement's 5 phases. We should talk about that in our next.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit on the next one, but
Just
you
a
know,
teaser, folks. If
just
you
a
want to know
teaser.
about the phases of retirement, you better come back.
Yep, you have to visit us in our next video. Check out our Instagram. It's at Fireproof Financial. We've got ourselves on LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and soon enough we'll have this posted up on YouTube as well.
Mhm.
I think next time we'll dive a little bit
Have a
more
little bit in that because
into.
that's what the book's all about.
That's true. This short stories we're compiling.
Yep.
We're finalizing the edits.
Mhm.
And we're finalizing so that we get exactly what we want from it.
Mhm.
And soon enough, this will be published so that you can access it through a link wherever we've been putting this, probably in our Instagram bio. So check out our Instagram.
Okay.
So we'll talk to you next time. Have
All
a
right.
good one.
Thank you much. Bye-bye.